G'day, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I've had a bit of a challenging time over the last little while. As I sort of said, it's been a year since my father passed, and that still affects me daily. And one of the topics that I wanted to talk about probably today and over the next little while is around that sort of idea of change. Um, Regardless of where you are or what you're doing, I think change is one of the things that has a huge impact on our mental well-being at any point in time. And it's a lot of times, different people react to change in different ways. There's also just a general perception that change should be easy, or that it's just something that we sort of blanket through and just do without sort of too much thought or anything like that. But change is actually something that can actually take quite a little bit of time to sort of work your way through, and also come out the other side and sort of feel like it's done. There's a lot of change that I've had to go through from with my father's death. That wasn't. I don't envy anybody who's gone through the death of a loved one. It's a fairly traumatic time, and it sort of brings up lots of different feelings about yourself and about everything that's going on and around you. But I think it's also, it also depends on what that person was to you as well. I know from my point of view, my father was very much, and I think fathers are like that. They're that rock that you can depend on. Sometimes they can be judgmental. I know my dad was here and there, was a little bit judgmental, but most of the time he was just there. He listened, he was interested, and he showed in various ways how he sort of felt about me and what he was. So from that sort of point of view, I had a fairly good relationship with my father. I'll say there were rocky parts and stuff like that, but and that change that is now going on for me is, I know he's been away for a year, but it just doesn't feel like. And I suppose it's a bit of today's society as well. We live a lot further away from our parents and siblings and stuff like that. So sometimes you only see them, a couple of times a year. So when you don't see them, you don't sort of feel like they're not around. They're just not there for that at that particular point in time. And for me, that's sometimes been the hardest part. And so sometimes going back home where he lived is really quite traumatic for me, and it's not something that I actually enjoy, because that's when it really hits home each time that he's not there. He's not just out in the garden, or he's out playing golf or whatever he happened to be doing. I'm not going to see him in his favourite chair doing his favourite stuff. And that's when it really hits home. So sometimes change that's happening can also take a time, because sometimes the change is not visible in front of your eyes all the time, especially when you live far away. And I've found that has been a real struggle for me, that I haven't really wanted to go back to where Dad was, because I don't want to be faced with that reality of knowing he's not there when I'm away, because I'm about 6 hours away from where he lives, driving time. It just makes it a little bit easier to sort of realise that he may not be there. So from that point of view, it's a little bit easier to ignore. I still think about him as if he was there. It's just when those times are when I want to maybe have a chat with him that it really hits home that, okay, I can't talk to him, and I have to sort of think about, well, what's he going to be talking about? Or what would he say to me? And what things would he sort of what little sayings would he say that I know he'd need to? And I find myself thinking about those things in a way, to sort of really make sure that those things are thought about in a nice way, that I sort of think about those little sayings, think about those little things that he does, and what he would sort of say to me, and try and sort of put that in a sort of a positive spin. So, thinking about change and other things that have happened, it's something that's difficult, and I know from that personal experience of having that loss, that just trying to work that through can take some time, and you've got to give yourself that time. And it might be that different triggers will have different impacts on you as well. So it's been a little bit difficult, especially this time, because it's sort of sometime when it just sort of happens. So it's also that 1 year anniversary. And then I also know that his birthday is coming up soon as well. So it's very top of mind and very topical at this point in time. It's just very difficult. So, yeah, just sort of think about how you're dealing with some of your change as well, and how that, and I'm going to explore that in different topics a little bit later as well. So that was just sort of an update of where I am and just some of the struggles that I'm going through as well at this point in time. So talk to you again soon. Hope that was, that you've felt some sort of awareness of maybe something that you're feeling as well around this as well, because that sort of grief process just takes a while to get through. Anyway, have a good day. I wish you all the best, and talk to you again a little bit later.